because we can't be here without you. The Buddha was very, he was very astute, of course he was. He was a very amazingly wise person. And when he set up the Sangha, he set it up in such a way that we would be totally dependent on the lay people. Here in the West, when we think about monasticism, we often just think about the Christian version. And in many cases, within Christian monasticism, it's just like a place all by itself, like an almost separate state. It doesn't have any relationship to what goes on outside. Big wall, big gates, off, cut off. But for us, that can't happen. We can't be cut off. We depend on you. And you ought to depend on us. We depend on you for the food, the material things we can't manage otherwise, because we've got no money. So we need you, and you need us, because without us, you won't have good teaching, and you won't have good advice. And you need that, because you've got to live a difficult life. Life isn't easy for any of us. And if you listen to the teachings of the Buddha, and you come and practice meditation, and you try to live a good life, keeping the 5 precepts, then things will be better, a lot better. And these gatherings, I often say, just imagine what it would be like if everyone kept 5 precepts. Incredible, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
The prisons will be closed.
Yes.
Yeah? The police will be paid off. We wouldn't bother with them anymore. We wouldn't have any locks. It would be absolutely amazing. We wouldn't have to put anything away, cover anything up, hide anything. It would be wonderful. Well, I'm afraid it's highly unlikely we're going to persuade everyone to keep 5 precepts, but you can make a start. All of you here can contribute to that end by you keeping the 5 precepts. And I know sometimes it can be difficult because people around you say, oh, well, go on, have a drink, and all that. I know. I used to be a layman, and I know what it's like. But if you say no, when I was a layman, and I got interested in Buddhism, it was a very slow process for me. First of all, I was interested in meditation. Then I started to get interested in Buddhism. And then I started wanting to take my practice very seriously and keep the 5 precepts. And it wasn't too difficult except the 5th one. Because the society I worked and lived in, I was an actor. And all actors drink. So it was a bit difficult. So I thought to begin with, well, when I go to a party or something like that, I'll just hold the drink. I'll just hold one. That'll be all right. No one will really notice that I'm not drinking. And, that's what I'll do. But it didn't work. So I tried just sort of pouring it away. That didn't work either. So they kept having a go at me. And my boss one day, when I was at his house, he made a big fuss because he was very famous, and he was very famous amongst actors for making punch, and he took great pride in punch. And his name was Olivier, Sir Lawrence Olivier, and he used to love to make this punch. And there I was, right in the front one day, and he was trying to make me drink his punch. And I had to say, in the end, I'd say, no. And it was amazing, And after that, when I just said, no, I don't drink, that's it. The respect it got. Once I had the courage to do that, I was free of all this sort of people troubling me, trying to make me drink. You just have to have the courage to be different, to be a bit different, and people respect it. So when you're struggling sometimes, or a bit nervous about keeping the 5 precepts, take courage, because people will respect it, and everyone will be a lot happier for it. So please take these precepts very seriously. and take the opportunity to nourish yourselves with the Buddha's teachings. And that's what we have to offer. That's what you're dependent on us for, those teachings and that example. And you need it. You need that nourishment just as we need your food. So it's a good exchange. And that's how the Buddha saw things. That there's this important relationship, this interdependence, mutual dependence. And of course, there's always the opportunity for your sons and daughters to go forth. And always that opportunity to make that greater commitment to live the life and to come out of suffering. And I'm sure that's what we all really want to do, to be free of our suffering. So please take it all seriously. You people from, most of you here are from Thailand and Burma and places that have known Buddhism for centuries. And you have a wonderful opportunity that we here have not had. I knew nothing about Buddhism when I was young. It took me until I was in my early 20s to even know who the Buddha was, let alone to know anything about what the Buddha taught. So you're not hindered in the same way that we were. So please value what you have. Take hold of this important jewel and do your best to help us to keep it shining. So today, because it's end of Pansa, it's traditional that it's not only me that talks, you see. So I'm going to pass the mic, I don't know whether we'll stretch that far, to Tanmanapa. Now, most of you know this, that we count our age as monks by the number of Pansa. So this year, at the end of this Pansa, Samanane in the corner is 1 Pansa. Mechi in the other corner is 4 Pansa. Tammanapa to my left is 6 Pansa, 10 Pansa. Then Pratera Well, I'm just the old one with 39 Pansa. I don't think it's not. It won't go that far. So you'll just have to speak. You've just got terribly loud.